possibly been in this book that I saw that.
Lean your chair back and rest for a little bit. You seem like you're kind of sleepy.
I am. I don't sleep of the night, but I don't sleep in the daytime. But I don't sleep at night. I know I saw something about where I was picking up on that one, that where they, I've forgotten which family it was that they had come to the United States in 17 something.
17 something?
Mm-hmm. Just trying to glance through here to see if I'd been in this book. I've seen that. I can trace the Rose family back a lot of generations, and I also can the Grays several generations. In fact, I may have part of that with me. But
And the Grays, that's where you get into that James Gray and Rebecca Austin.
Yeah. And that was our Grandma Butler's people. She was Gray.
Grandma Butler was a Gray. That was her maiden name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nancy Catherine Gray. And James Warren was her father, and Sarah Ann Horton was her mother. And the Brattons are the Grandma Rose, John Morgan's mother was Sarah Clark Rose. Her mother was the Bratton.
Okay.
Granny Rose was the Bratton.
Okay.
And that family came from Tennessee, Wayne or Hardin County, Tennessee. They got to Sarasota County Christmas Day of 1838, I believe it was.
1838.
And they had come, the Brattons originally are in North Carolina.
Now, who was Wilson Grimes?
That was
Grace.
That was Nancy Catherine's brother. Those that was talked about in that letter, those were her brothers they were telling about.
Well,
A lot of this was mud when I started collecting. But over the years, but if you know, like you say, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah,
And if I haven't looked at it for a while, I have to.
We should do
Gets a little
something
murky.
not on-
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
don't have to cut it. We should do something.
Yeah, I was
not on
trying to look
Christmas.
here and see if there wasn't a Rose family here that it
So
told about maybe.
Make it as simple as possible.
Simple, simple.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So, you'll be back in here on the 23rd,
Mhm.
so you're gonna stay at the house, or you want?
I don't know where I'm gonna stay. It'll just be. I'm gonna bring my car up there tomorrow night. So, when are you coming into town?
Well, I was planning on.
Right here it
probably
tells
around
about,
2 or so o'clock. I'm gonna be with Renee.
West
Fine, just
Virginia.
bring it my
Parents,
apartment.
right here.
And I'll
And
get
then
this-
you can just follow us back.
And Maud.
Mhm.
Well, no, I'll just get Jackie to go out there with me.
Oh, okay.
So I brought my car.
The other Davenport's back up the way on his.
now how did the Davenports fit into this?
Well, Aunt Maud married Lafayette.
And then Maud was
Lester's mother.
Lester's mother.
Well, if you just.
But I
write it
mean,
on
who
your
But
was-
she
You
is
said you're coming
daddy's,
in at 3?
my daddy's sister.
Sister. Okay.
Come by the apartment. I'll
Okay.
be there.
Okay.
So
And I should have-
all of their descendants would be your first cousins.
Yeah, yeah. And she actually was the first one born on the farm there on the Buffalo River.
Huh.
That's, they
What
had
I
come
would like
from
to do is.
St. Joe to the river.
Do something so we could go,
And then
you know
there's
how we did
another-
that one year ago with the Christmas lights? I'll
Back over this way,
Well, I wanna go out to eat. And I want
that
the
was
lights to go down.
included the rose.
Before I go.
Yeah.
I thought I put a marker in it, but maybe,
No, Christmas lights are fun. I know Jackie.
maybe it got out when I was, maybe this is it. This is long,
Okay, fresh in my memory.
right here.
Okay.
Here's the
So,
rose.
You think you'll be back? on
Now, I've got it for you
23rd,
back
so
in Frederick.
What I could do, if you were.
Probably
confident you could
4 or
do that,
5 more
we can have
generations
reservations
back
somewhere
again.
before, 'cause
But
that's-
this Frederick was
or we
Silas
don't have a better
Rose.
chance of having reservations
Okay. I know Jackie has to work that evening, so I'll have to find out what
On the
time.
24th.
She'll probably get off around
Yes.
7, 6:30, 7.
here. There's Frederick, isn't it, right
Yeah.
there? All right, right now,
Well,
here
and
will
there's
be
places that are open.
Silas
States
Rose,
you make
which was
reservations.
Granny Rose's
You remember the year we
husband.
did that?
And he was one
Well, one
that
of the
was
things I'm gonna do
murdered.
definitely is, on the, when I get
He
in on the
lived at
23rd,
Red Rock, and on the way home was
I'm gonna
murdered
do
there.
How was he murdered?
I don't know, they were just robbing. When they found him, he was already dead, so they don't know the particulars of it. But they just felt like he was, now whether he was, I've often wondered, was he walking by himself? Or was he in a wagon or a buggy or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Particulars on that. But he was murdered about
just depends.
25 miles south of
Cause I don't have my
Marshall.
stuff written, like,
And,
you know, that blue kind of
Dinner.
suit I have.
Now, that was Silas?
Back around
Yeah,
my waist.
that was him.
That was-
Large,
that was-
Because I
the,
don't,
the
Yeah.
husband of the
So,
woman
it
that
just
lived to be
depends, like this
100,
shirt
it was her.
is a small.
He died in,
But
he was
then
murdered in
sometimes it depends
72.
on what it is.
All right,
And-
we had a
Well,
grandpa
I'm not
on
gonna
the other
remember.
side
I was,
that was murdered during the Civil War.
Did it? Well,
So
no,
2 of our
well, you just, you
grandpas,
don't like the whole.
I don't,
the Morrison.
I don't like to, like,
Thomas
buy a bunch
Calvin.
of stuff.
Well,
I wouldn't
he
mind
was
having a list.
Our grandpa,
And-
Well, no, I'm talking
John
about.
Moore, John Virgil.
Well,
See,
if
both
you
of our
knew,
grandpas
like the
were
other day, I was
Johns.
some lady
Okay, right.
and so her
And,
brother got me in.
John
bought
Virgil
my, like,
Morrison's
jewelry and
father.
stuff, and I was telling her,
Thomas,
I said, I'm gonna come in and just do a wish list.
Calvin
And,
was
get
murdered
someone
during
else
the
buy me
Civil
Christmas
War.
present or
They
whatever.
Jayhawkers or
I hate
somebody
to
like
see
that. The game,
Yeah.
in there and killed him. And then his sons were way up more, but when they found it out, they came back and looked them down.
I'd rather
They
have,
got
like-
them.
Really?
Well, it depends on,
Made their revenge.
What do you,
Mhm.
go ahead with
well, it's like
But,
going in and
yeah.
registering at like the sports store, because what they
I
say you
used
do
to
is come in
tell
and
you
get out and
just
have
from
a
the
seat on
beginning
file, and
down
somebody
to
wants to buy
Silas.
a gift, then there's like a,
What his
A
father
range of
was,
things
what that
on
fella's
Yeah.
father was.
$10.
Well, that would work too. I like that
Ones
better.
that first came over here.
because see,
But it's been a few months since I've thought about them, and I just-
I don't wanna just get them
I've got it written down at home, but I didn't bring it with me.
So,
But,
and that's what like, I like to
there
do,
is,
just get things that I really love,
another-
and then that's gonna be nice. And then
Maud Rosebell, would that been end up being Maud Butler? No,
so on that.
Maudu.
there's Maud Rosebell.
Oh, no,
no, that's nothing.
No, she, after her husband died,
They can give you a
I think
thing
he died
ranging
from
from $10
appendicitis, I believe that was what it was. He died when those boys was quite young. And then she married a dealer,
Mr. Barron, the jewelry store, you know, or.
and that was her last name when she died. But, I'll see here in this, I know I saw a history that it told when they first came to, and how they came to.
That's actually
It told about three brothers
that's Steve.
coming over.
See if they'll buy something else. Do that. You figure that one out later.
But there has been, I had heard about this book that I'm letting you take home with you.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it in time to
You like it?
send in an article to it. So it's what, where it lists our name, it's been one that one of our cousins put in there. And part of it wasn't accurate, but then most of it is.
Also tomorrow when you come by, I'll give you some information on
But
that.
I ordered one, and
That's what they gave us.
the rest of the family didn't seem to be interested
Literally, though, they
in it
didn't
at
tell
the
us
time.
about it.
So they didn't get one, but after they saw mine, they wished they had it.
Yeah.
But I got the information from Western
I
how
remember
to
that.
find
I'm
it.
not gonna go.
How to call her.
I
And I called her and I told her, I said, well, I'll send you some money, I want one of your books. She says, I trust my
I missed it.
family.
I missed the
So
sentence.
she said it and
I said
billed me for it, and then I sent the money back to, now here you are, here's the Rose family, but I don't know if it tells about the beginning or not. But Isaac Rose is, whether this Isaac Rose is the one, but there was three Isaacs.
That's fine. And I know. I didn't. I missed it. Just said
Isaac had a son Isaac, and that Isaac had a son Isaac. And
There's a
it
whole
comes
bunch of
up,
Isaacs.
yeah.
Me
mhm.
asking you to go through Steve.
Yeah, they had just a whole bunch of family with those kids in our
Not
lineage.
quite, but.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Oh,
They
yeah.
had 13 children.
He did come up to me and told me something. He said, Mike and I had a moment there.
What year was this one born?
He is.
we had a problem.
1862, is that a, they came from Lawrence County, Missouri.
In 1862, so
No telling where he was
he
born.
died in 1917.
Mhm.
Remorseful about what had happened. When he came and we got him, it was probably a week or so after it happened, which was huge.
That's no doubt they're connected with our
Had
family.
Yeah.
any regret at all. And I probably shouldn't have said it, but I said, no, I probably didn't.
And the Sanders are relatives, they connected with the Brattons.
And what's that been 3 months ago?
But there was, I think, about
But that's
4 or
huge.
5 of the Bratton families
Brandon, one
came by wagon
two,
uh,
came
from
back to.
Hardin County, Tennessee,
Colleagues.
there to
See, what is this?
Searcy County, and then
Who you
later
are.
on, others, and see, in 1838, that would have been quite a long time ago. That probably was just shortly after the state, it became a state.
But it's
Mhm.
so funny, because it's just like somebody.
I think I had read later on in regard to this, when it became a state.
I can't believe you
where
didn't see that. I laughed.
I
so
They
did
were
see it. I
just,
didn't know
just
anybody
had not
else
been a
was-
state that long
I
before they
laughed.
came.
It's like when you come to Oklahoma, it hadn't been a state that long either.
No, no, no.
So
In
you're
fact,
talking
some of the family was here
15
before the
years.
state.
Hardest part is
Uh,
just taking it personally.
Grandma,
Like I do?
yeah, my
You're
grandma
not married.
Butler's
That's true.
uh,
I'm supposed to be.
brother
That
that was related to the Penningtons there in Thomas. They came to Duncan. They were in Duncan in 1892, I believe it was, 90 or 92. Grandpa James Warren and Sarah Ann came to see them, and at Duncan back then. And then, see, that was a long time before the state.
Right.
Then Grandpa James Warren and Sarah Ann went back home in preparation. And I don't know what year they came back, but they were here when we already here at Alfalfa when we moved here. So they probably came the next year or two after that.
Yeah, we have a hard time with that.
Lil, but you could get my walker.
I wouldn't care at all.
Okay.
I was just telling him that
Go
the
to the restaurant. Thank you.
the
You gonna take your
Penningtons that
oxygen
lived at Thomaston, Mrs. Pennington, Zora Pennington, the mother of the men that had the business there, her father was Bill Gray. His name was William something, but he went by
Was
Uncle
that
Bill.
something?
He was Grandma Grandma Butler's brother.
That's a card that
And
belongs
he
here.
had,
Okay, thank you.
in some of the information I have, showed him in Duncan, Oklahoma in 1890, I believe it was 1892.
Wow.
It's either 90 or 92. The Grays came, James Warren, his parents, and Sarah Ann Horton came to see him then. And they liked it so well that they went back preparing to come out, and I don't know what year they came out. But they were already out here in Oklahoma when, in fact, I think he died in 1892, Grandpa James Warren. Not 1902. And he was already living at Alfalfa then. And then,
Lois, did Grandma Butler, your mother, ever tell you the story about the panther?
oh yes, many times. And
Tell me about it.
We were- Well,
Here, this mic.
which one? Which one?
Was there more than one?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
We'll probably-
There was one
I have a
time
lot of packing.
that they were on their, that Uncle Dave was coming
Oh, no,
to
I'm-
see
I know,
some of
I
the
know.
family.
I was just trying to.
And they went around this bluff, and there was a panther up there up on the ledge of the bluff,
I'm 100.
ready
I'm 100
to
years old.
spring on her.
Well, I was telling
And then
you,
there was
when I was
another
over there, I was-
story
I was
about
talking to somebody
where this
the other day, and I
woman
was like, yeah, I was like, it's
was
just
somewhere
something
away
being
from
El Paso.
home and she had a
Giving us
baby,
my grandpa's 100.
a widow. And she could hear this panther coming and screaming behind them.
Whatever you want.
And
It's
in
like,
order to
100, I'll do
try
what
to
I
get
want.
home before the
When you find out who
caught
that
up to
is,
them,
I'd like to know.
she would drop the
That check, they
parts of the
turn that into the
clothing.
collecting
So it
agent.
would stall and
It's the,
investigate
it's Dr.
that.
Mold's office,
They
the
got
lab
home
work,
right,
and
but
so
there
I'll
were
call
several
them.
different
Because
stories
they shouldn't
like
have
that.
sent you that.
No, they shouldn't.
Is that the
I'll-
one?
I'll
They
call
have
them.
my address.
Telling you
I'll
was
call 'em.
another one.
They can't send you.
That was the one I remember where she dropped the clothes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's state law. I can tell you that.
But there
They
was,
can't.
there
They're not
was lots of
notifying you
wild
if there's a
animals
problem
back
with the
there at
payment.
that time.
Yeah.
And
Was that an
the
address
people
or
when I
something
was
that you
back
knew who
there
it was?
in
Yeah, it has
41.
on there OU Medical Center.
And I probably in 47.
So
The houses
they
didn't
obviously
have
didn't go through the right
screens
lines.
It's on their windows.
Well, it's one of those places
And-
that was the lab work.
In
And
the
I can
summertime,
get
when you'd
bills
have
on
the
it,
house opened up,
With
there's nothing
Medicare
to
and
keep them
physicians,
out.
usually you have to wait till wait, and then
The animals
all of a
just come
sudden
on
they
in.
Yeah,
send you this
yeah,
collection bill.
flies
And that's
too.
what happens. I'll call out there and they'll
Oh, yeah.
say,
Back then, they'd cut a,
yeah,
break a
you don't-
peach tree or something like that and shoo the flies off the
Well,
food.
well, I paid my bill. You know?
But, I've often wondered.
Oh, do you
we
need me
were
to move
having-
that?
No, I'll just go around there.
Okay.
That is to follow his directions. He's in there laying on his back. And he laid on his back all night last night.
Is that what they told him?
Yeah, not to lay on that side.
Oh, okay. With that implant. They did his new implant yesterday at Lois. They did his implant yesterday for his medicine. It's a time release deal, so he does. You knew he did that, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You know, when he had to go in every 3 months to get his shot, it was
Yeah.
so traumatic
Oh,
for
yeah.
him that
Oh,
they did this time release medication, and he only has to do it once a year. And
Oh,
they
okay.
just making a little incision and put this little implant in there and
Uh-huh.
keeps him from having to go down there every 3 months.
Uh-huh.
His doctor, Jones, his urologist, has been his urologist for years and years.
Uh-huh.
And the last year when Daddy was in there, Dr. Jones told him, he said, well, I'll see you next year. And Daddy goes, oh, I don't know if I'll be here. And he goes, listen, I want an invitation to your 100th birthday. I'll see you next year. Well, when he went in the other day, Dr. Jones said, I haven't gotten my invitation to your party yet. Daddy goes, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do it. And he goes, I'm waiting for the invitation. Dr. Mold told him the same thing, his geriatrician, the last time we took him in there. He said, I'm waiting for an invitation to your party.
Uh-huh.
Daddy goes, oh, I don't know. And he turned to Catherine and I, he said, do the party. Dr. Mold and Dr. Jones both said you're coming.
One of my friends, I was telling Grandpa this the other day at Grandma's birthday, is one of my buddies that I work with. I was telling him, I was like, being in El Paso is going to be horrible. I'm going to miss Grandpa's birthday party. And he goes, how old are you going to be? I was like, 100. And he goes, what does a man do for his 100th birthday? And I said, whatever he wants. Like, when you've lived 100 years, you do whatever you want for your birthday.
You can eat it whatever you want.
I asked him if he was going to take up skydiving, but he said he wasn't going to do that this year. He said maybe next year.
I still think you ought to talk to your commanding officer and tell him what's
Yeah.
going on. I think they'll let you come home.
I bet you they will too.
It's a year or more, isn't it, till he's,
About 6 weeks.
is it that soon?
December 4th, it'll be his 100th birthday. You didn't know you was married to an old man, did you?
For near it had to be 74 years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I think I can
I think
officially
so.
start calling him my old man now.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do.
That's one thing I've never called him.
Me
no.
either.
Never called him my old man.
I don't like that term.
Don't
Me
either.
either.
I think it's
very
tacky.
I think it's tacky and derogatory.
I always felt that way.
I think it's very dishonoring and disrespectful. I don't remember ever saying that about anybody that's older. Man, you look older. Man, you're getting older, you know.
No, I'd have to be there.
It's just tacky, I think.
I'll say it about myself.
Wiser?
Byron says it to me. Of course, I don't know.
My
It's when you're
comments
26.
together.
It's a compliment.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
My comment
Note
to
to
young
self.
whippersnappers that say stuff like
Well, like
that.
that. What kind of comment is that? Whippersnapper? That's just not. I don't.
Well, that's-
at all.
Well, if you don't act like one, you don't get called one. So,
What is a whippersnapper anyway?
well,
Aunt
just smart.
Wanda said she
And
had,
if they say that to me, you know,
she
it's
was
like,
raised
you know,
Methodist.
you're gonna be there
That
someday.
down there, they didn't have a whole lot going
You'd have to
on
come
for
back.
young kids to go to. So
Black hair.
said if there was a meeting going on in the community, they'd go to anything to have someplace to go.
Yeah.
And said she went to the meetings where
You hook it up to
Grandpa
your cable
preached
box.
to many.
What is today?
You
Today?
hook it up.
Tuesday.
Tonight. It's October the 9th. Today?
Tuesday, October the 9th.
All day unless it rains.
I've got to get some mail today.
It come
Did you
here
check?
already.
What you
I didn't
doing?
give it to you.
Oh, okay.
There was no fan letters today.
A sling box or what it is.
I
It
think
better
you-
be a
Cable
letter.
box that hooks
Huh?
to the wall.
It better be a
And then
letter.
out of your
From
cable
whom?
box comes a wire that hooks into the sling box.
You
When I
expected
get it,
some?
I'll
Box hooks into the
Oh, you want that one? Let me see.
No, I
What's
don't
the
want
one
it. I
that
just
goes
want to
to-
know if we got it.
Receipt.
Your cable box anywhere in the world.
Uh-uh.
So I'm gonna have-
So you can do
I'm gonna
all
have
your
DVR and all that while I'm overseas.
That's that'd be awesome.
When I was
And
working
also,
at the
I can say,
hospital,
well, you can't really do it.
they had Miss Shepherd took me to a room to talk to
We
me.
can talk to each other without
They
having
had just waxed the
Yeah,
floor,
and
it
we
was
don't-
still
and
wet,
we don't have to,
and I fell.
and it doesn't cost anything.
I get a little check
Just go
every
through
week.
it, so it's gonna be.
Cool.
No,
better
it didn't
buy all
come
the
in.
phone cards and stuff.
No. You'll probably hear tomorrow. So when you were you little, what was like a typical evening in your household?
So after we'd eat supper, we'd sit around the stove and talk, and
A kitchen stove?
usually the living room. But in our household, we always had, there was enough of us that we had to have a bed set up in the living room, and so that was where our parents slept.
She doesn't remember.
But we'd have the
Why?
heating stove for that area. And our mother would tell some of these wild stories. And then after a while she'd say, Mother, or Lois, you better go in and do the dishes. Well, I could see one of those animals ready to come through every window that was in the kitchen.
Oh, she'd tell you the stories about the Panthers or
Yeah. Or some weird story.
do you remember any of the other weird stories that she'd tell you?
Oh, not right off the head. But I will tell you this little ditty. I never saw my daddy get cross with my mother, or my mother get cross with. She might challenge him on something she disagreed with. And he had this little thing whenever she would be challenging him on something. I have a wife and a sweetheart too. My wife don't love me, but my sweetheart do.
That Lois, Grandpa's gone to bed, so I can ask you this without an unbiased opinion coming from his part. What was Grandpa like when he was younger?
Well, he was a congenial fellow.
Really?
Yes. I never had any cross-ups with him at all that I ever recall. Now, he might tell you differently about me whenever I was little, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I don't remember him challenge me. But Uncle Clyde and I had a few challenges.
Really? Oh.
And I resented those older brothers and sisters trying to be my mom and daddy.
Did they like playing that role?
Sometimes. And that was all right if they were left in charge, but if my mother or my daddy was there, I did not appreciate that.
So do you have any stories about Grandpa when he was younger?
Oh, let me think of some. I'm sure I do. Of course, see, I was born in 20, and he was born in 7. So he was 12 years older than me in a few months. But and then Doris was born in 4, so that would have made, she would have been 14 years old whenever I was 14. She would have been more than that, surely. Well, that'd be 16.
Yeah,
Because
16.
she was more than that difference with Harley.
Yeah.
But anyway, she resented the younger ones when she was growing up. But when she was an adult, after she was gone from home, I saw a feeling toward each other that was congenial. But that meant a lot of work. Now, I'm sure LaClada and those older ones can relate to that with you kids. But not that they resented Jens at all. I never saw any sign of that any time I was around you kids, that there was any sign of that. But Aunt Doris, I think she was just over too much responsibility to put on her, too young. And it got old And as that's the younger ones come
So that
along.
was the resentment that she
Yeah,
had, is
yeah,
that she felt like
yeah,
she had too
yeah.
much responsibility.
But I never saw that at all after we were grown.
Yeah.
I just did not see it. So I know it had to be related to the overburden that she was at a younger age. But, there again, with Uncle Clyde, he just had a different, he was a different person to your dad. Not that he wouldn't have done just as much after he was grown, but he would challenge us quite a bit. And I never saw that with your dad. Never. But I can recall he went away, and I don't know if he's talked to you about that. He went to the college there in Cordell.
Who is he?
Your dad.
Okay.
Your dad did.
So Grandpa went to college in Cordell?
When the Christian college, it's what is now here in Edmond.
Okay. Oh, the Oklahoma Christian?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It originally started, as far as my knowledge, there in Cordell. Then it went from there to somewhere in Kansas. No, Bartlesville.
Okay.
Bartlesville. And then they moved to Edmond eventually. But when he was there, and that was in about, I don't remember what year that would have been, 27, 28, or somewhere along there. Then Grandpa Butler had rheumatism real bad, and he had to do more of the work in the fields to compensate for what Grandpa couldn't do. But he was always one that took pride. He might, when he was in the field, get some grease on his hands and all of that, but whenever it came time to get out, to go to town just to goof off, he would clean up and be a switchly one.
So what did he do when he went to town? Like what would be a...
Oh, there wasn't that much going on back then. The kids would just go to town and they would go to the soda fountain place. There wasn't such thing as a drive-in back then. But I've heard of that there was even some of them that didn't have enough money to buy two.
You want to read something funny? If you don't want to read it, you don't need to. Glenda brought that from me.
Two drinks, so they'd get two straws
Oh,
and put
okay.
in one cup.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. I never did see that happen, but I've heard that happen. But or there'd maybe be shows that they could go to.
Now I vaguely remember. I don't know if this is just my imagination, but did Grandpa play in a band, or did he play music at all, or?
He had a French harp that he played, and then I've seen him later years picking on a guitar. How much he ever did with it, I don't. Did you ever see your dad do that?
Mhm.
And did he ever play the French harp for you?
Mhm. Yeah. He called it a juice harp.
Yeah.
He called it a juice harp.
Now, grandmother, I had a question for you. Where did you and Grandpa meet?
At a party.
Really?
Yeah. It was just, they used to have parties, just a group, juniors and seniors, or just the high school.
Okay, kind of like a dance type thing. Not really a dance, but
No, it wasn't a dance, it was just a party, but that was kind of what it was.
yeah.
Play games usually.
Oh, okay.
When I got ready to go home, he'd been over there talking, but I got ready to go home, he got up and took me home.
Oh, really?
Walked. He had a car.
We were thinking about doing dinner.
Did you walk?
Out of here.
How far was it from your mother's home to where your grandpa and grandma Kreisdorf lived?
You know where the Catholic church was?
Yes and no. How many blocks was
Oh, it
that?
was-
It's gonna be okay. This is.
It was just a block up. It was our street and then Grandma's street.
Mhm.
And Mother lived just east of the high school. School there at
Yeah.
Thomas.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
So it was about 4 or 5 blocks.
Now, they were on that middle block between the school and you and then south, weren't they?
Yeah, they was in the block east of the school
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And
Kind of what I was remembering.
Yeah.
And how far down from the laundry was it to where your
Well-
grandparents lived?
the laundry was on this block and Grandma was in the next.
Okay,
So it was just
okay.
not far.
When they was showing the pictures the other day, I thought about that. I had been to your grandpa and grandma Castor's house.
Okay.
When I was little, we had, there was a house.
So there will do
It
both
was
of them.
kind of in the middle of the block, but it was just a block. This, Grandma lived in the middle of this block, and we lived in the middle of this one or this one, I don't remember which it was. I guess it was up this way.
Well,
Anyway,
where actually was it from the Catholic Church?
well, it'd been a block and a half west, north.
Okay. Now, did it face the west, the house?
East.
Faced the east?
It's really kind of in the middle of the block, but we
Okay,
didn't have
okay.
I don't know whether, I don't remember any, because I was little
Mm-hmm.
when we lived there, but we would walk across, just across the pasture to
Mm-hmm.
Grandma's house and
Okay, well, I'm not going home until the
and stay with her until while Mother was working.
Do you remember what year your mother bought that place there, east of the school?
No, but I was
You're-
little.
okay.
I wasn't,
In grade school,
no, I
maybe?
wasn't, That's where I remember walking up there when I did get there.
Now, did you go all your schooling there at the Thomas School?
Yeah, in the same building. And now they've tore the building down.
Yeah.
I think that's a dirty shame. But they had to build a bigger school since Custer and Fay moved into Thomas.
Well, it's kind of like Maureen's family was talking about the school where her kids went to school. They tore it down and built a new home, a new school. They said they didn't understand it was a newer school, some of the other ones, that they hadn't rebuilt. I don't know what the deal was there.
Mother, you were saying that Daddy walked you home from that party. Do you remember any of the things you talked about walking home?
It was about 3 or 4 blocks anyway.
Was the first time I saw you, was that the time that I had spilled ink on my dress?
Yeah.
I know I was humiliated.
Look at the bright side on this.
I
Did
don't.
you guys live in town or did you live
No,
in
in
the
the
country?
country.
So Daddy had driven to this party
Yeah.
and then he walked you home?
You know where the east elevator was?
Yeah.
Maybe he thought he could talk